Thank you.
Member for Karama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm very proud to be part of a united government team committed to reducing crime, rebuilding our economy as per our election commitments and restoring lifestyle. And don't anyone ever forget, we put the plan out and we are enforcing it right now. This is a government that received an overwhelming mandate from Territorians at the last election to reverse the neglect that the previous Labor government had inflicted on our community, with policies that failed to make our community safe, let alone prioritise community safety. The Labor government was a champion of victims last policies and offender first policies. Madam Speaker, the Labor government was also a champion of catch and release policies for offenders, where bail was granted as almost a right rather than a privilege, something that certainly attracted the ire of the people in my electorate. Madam Speaker, I heard the frustration of residents from Karama, Malak and Nucky Lagoon as they continually questioned why offenders were being arrested for break-ins, violence against innocent residents and other offences, only to be seen back on the streets the very next day, something the member for Blaine also highlighted. Hence why I'm very proud to be part of our united government that quickly honoured our election commitments by passing legislation to stop the revolving door of bail by making all serious violent offenders, with or without a weapon, start with a position of no bail. That made breach of bail an offence. That introduced mandatory sentencing for assaulting frontline workers. And you know how much I'm passionate about that, having my own son as a paramedic. Legislation that made ram raids and posting and boasting on social media an aggravated offence. Legislation that gave police powers to fine, charge and arrest for public drinking in non-exempt areas. And yes, we lowered the age of criminal responsibility so offenders don't fall through the cracks and can be sent to meaningful intervention programs to turn their lives around, because we actually put children first. Madam Speaker, believe it or not, it was pleasing when myself and the member for Casuarina were walking around the Oval at the Darwin show last Friday that we were called over by one of the stewards managing the entry of horses onto the arena who wanted to chat. This steward is a long-time Larrakia elder who has lived in Karama for some 30+ years. And she wanted to congratulate me and our government for standing up for community safety in our area and encourage us to continue to do so. And in her words, to ignore the bleating objections from those members opposite. Madam Speaker, her final comment was, and the member for Casuarina can testify this, Brian, this has nothing to do with race. It is about community-wide safety. And she openly said to both of us, if people do the crime, they should do the time. Keep up the good work. So I do thank her, and she gives me the inspiration to keep going. It's got absolutely nothing to do with race, but it's about our community and the benefit of our community. Now, Madam Speaker, last week I completed hand-delivering my newsletter across the whole of the Karama electorate and spoke to many residents directly in doing so. Hopefully I also lost some weight in walking around all those streets, and I certainly met a lot of dogs that greeted me again. But like the resident that the member for Casuarina and I met at the Darwin show, these residents were also pleased with our approach to law and order, but actually want us to go harder. That's what they say. You're doing well, but you've got to do more. So, Madam Speaker, they are very much in favour of our proposals to give them access to OC spray and for personal protection, and the introduction of police public safety officers, something I highlighted in my newsletter. And I can tell you, when I go round a lot of our public housing areas, people welcome this initiative and they want us to bring it on. They want us to bring it on. So, Madam Speaker, let me just quote from my opening message in my newsletter, which I just a part of it. So it starts off, "Dear residents of Karama, 𝑳𝒂𝒃 and 𝙍𝙀 Lagoon, crime and antisocial behaviour continue to be among the most frequent concerns raised with me. I want to assure you that I continue to strongly advocate on your behalf in Parliament and to our government. While there is still work to be done, and I think we all acknowledge that, we are beginning to see some positive changes, including increased proactive policing in Karama and 𝙂𝒃, stronger enforcement measures and real consequences for offenders, and a more focused approach to dealing with irresponsible public housing tenants." I went on to say, "Our government remains committed to reducing crime, rebuilding our economy and restoring the territory lifestyle we all value." Now, I can tell you, when I talk about increasing police visibility, we've had about 2 episodes now of where the police have conducted special operations. They've come in for 4-day operations. They've gone around the parks in the morning. They've tipped out alcohol. They've walked through en masse, going through the shopping centres, and everything seems to calm down when they do it. And I congratulate the police for doing this. This is proactive policing. They're getting out there on the front foot. They've been seen. The community feels safer. And over the last month, they've seen it happen twice. And they are feeling much better that this government is actually listening to their concerns, because Labor didn't listen to their concerns. And I hear the member for 𝑳𝒂𝒃, and he comes out and he starts going on about his statistics and quoting all this stuff. You know, he's big on the stats, looking at all that. But, you know, you've got to think about it a little bit wider than just these raw statistics. I mean, as we say, these are early but important signs of a system turning round, Madam Speaker. And after nearly a decade of Labor failure, but we all know, success is more than statistics. And I pass that on to the member of 𝑳𝒂𝒃 through you, Madam Speaker. Success is more than statistics. It's when people actually feel safe again. That's when you know you're starting to get right. And we'll keep making the hard calls to restore law and order and confidence in our justice system. And when I get the feedback from a Larrakia elder who's lived in the electorate for over 30 years at the Darwin show saying, "We want you to go harder. We think you're doing a great job. It's got nothing to do about race. You're the only ones that are focused on community safety," I say thank you very much. We are here for you. We are here for everyone who wants community safety. And when I get levelled these claims, oh, they've been racist or not, it is nothing further from the truth. It is all about community safety, community expectations. We listen to it. We are reacting to it. We are delivering on what we said in the election we would do. And I will not put up with the bleating from those members opposite claiming that we're off track. We need to go a bit harder. I agree. But we are also about, and I'm sure there's going to be other speakers about, the things we were doing to rehabilitate people when they're in jail. We are actually proactively trying to stop people offending. We are going to look to do mandatory rehabilitation and diversion programs. These are positive moves. We are going to do this right. And you can interject, but I don't interject with you. That's okay. Madam Speaker, I'll go through you. The appropriate thing, I'll keep talking through Madam Speaker.
Member for Daly.
So, as I said, Madam Speaker,
Take
I
your
am
seat,
proud.
Member for Karama. Sorry, member for
Standing Order 20, 𝙍𝙬𝙼𝙍𝙬.
𝙍𝙬𝙼𝙍.
Point of Order 20, interruptions.
Yes.
The Deputy Leader is trying to take over from the Leader and be
Yes,
loud.
I would ask that the member for Daly remain silent, please. Member for Karama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, we wouldn't want to lose another member of the opposition for an hour, would we? Though it might be pleasing. Having said that, I reiterate I am very proud to be a part of a united CLP government. We are all focused, and despite other claims, we are going to do the job. Thank you.